It's an exhibition about exhibitions.
The Museum of New Mexico has a history that goes back over 130 years of exhibitions in the Palace of the Governor.
Between the New Mexico Art Museum, the New Mexico History Museum, the Museum of International Folk Art, and the Museum of Indian Arts and Culture, thousands of shows have taken place over the course of a century, cementing Santa Fe's worldwide reputation as a city of fine arts and culture.
You started with the very basic exhibition designs, pots on shelves, things in glass cases, artifacts and curios, and now we've come to the point where these are very designed environments, and visitors will be immersed in those environments when they go to modern exhibitions.
On exhibit, Designs That Define the Museum of New Mexico pulls back the curtain of exhibition design and shows visitors the techniques employed by the museum system to bring history to life and give emerging artists a platform to showcase their work.
What we tried to do is see how exhibitions started in the 1880s and how they were designed. Very different audiences, very different expectations, and how that evolved over the years to what we have today, which is very richly in designed environments.
Told through photographs, artifacts, and testimony from the museum staff, On Exhibit illustrates the often overlooked artistry in show design itself, the underappreciated and painstaking work that goes into creating a successful and compelling museum experience.
For a small show, it's surprisingly diverse. We've recreated a shelf of Pueblo pottery and kind of suggested what that was like. We've recreated art shows that used curtains in the background and hung paintings in front of them, and that was done back in the 40s and 50s. We have recreated mannequins from the Museum of International Folk Art, mannequins that were used in the very first exhibition that they opened in 1953, and these mannequins and the ramp that they're on were based on a striptease show that the designers were inspired by from New York City.
And ultimately, the exhibit gives the museum goer a better appreciation for the museum staff itself, everyday artists, makers, and thinkers who continuously work behind the scenes for the Museum of New Mexico.
99.9% of the time, we are working on exhibitions for the 4 museums in Santa Fe, the state museums in Santa Fe. In this case, though, this exhibition was conceived of and 100% start to finish done by the exhibit services teams. Normally we split off and work on with subgroups. One team goes to one museum, another team goes to another. This way the entire team collaborated, and I think the team learned a lot. They experimented with new materials, different materials, and also just really bonded in a way that wouldn't have been possible if they hadn't worked together on this.